guys are asking is, what do I do? Well, one of the things that I do is I try to go around and make sure that everybody's learning. So here's my question to you. Are you learning?
Yes!
That's the most important thing. That's what I do. I go around and try to make sure everybody's learning and that everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, you guys are in third grade?
Yes!
Do you still get stories read to you?
Yes!
I have 6 children, and we have read to them all, and we've spent a lot of time reading, and so to our kids, and so we really enjoyed that, and I enjoy reading. So I'm going to share a book with you today that I haven't read yet, and it's called The 3 Questions, and it's written by a man named Leo Tolstoy. Okay? And I'm sure that I just pronounced his name wrong, but I'm not Russian. He wrote a lot of things. He wrote one book that I remember called War and Peace. I heard it's really thick, like that thick, really thick book. So I'm going to take a little time just to read you this story. And as I said, I've not read it yet, so it'd be new to me as well. You guys ready?
Yes!
All right. So there once was a boy named Nikolai who sometimes felt uncertain about the right way to act. I want to be a good person, he told his friends, but I don't always know the best way to do that. Nikolai's friends understood and they wanted to help him. If only I could find the answers to my 3 questions, Nikolai continued, then I would always know what to do. So he's looking for the answer to 3 questions. So let's see what those questions are. The first question is, when is the best time to do things? The second question is, who is the most important one? And the third question is, what is the right thing to do? So we have 3 questions. Okay. When is the best time to do things? Who is the most important one? And what is the right thing to do? So Nikolai's friends considered his first question. Then Sonia, the heron, what do you know what a heron is? Bird? Then Sonia the heron spoke. To know the best time to do things, one must plan in advance, she said. Gogol the monkey, who had been rooting through some leaves to find something good to eat, said, you will know when to do things if you watch and pay close attention. And then Pushkin, the doll, who was just dozing off, rolled over and said, you can't pay attention to everything yourself. You need a pack to keep watch and help you decide when to do things. For example, Gogol, a coconut is about to fall on your head. So the doll just told the monkey that a coconut was about to fall on his head. So you've got the advice from the heron, you've got the advice from Gogol the monkey, and you have advice from the doll. Alright? So Nikolai thought for a moment. Then he asked his second question. Who is the most important one? Well, the heron says, those who are closest to heaven, said Sonia, circling up into the sky. Those who know how to heal the sick, said Gogol, stroking his bruised noggin. The third answer was those who make the rules, growled Pushkin. So each of the 3 characters gave us an answer. Nikolai thought some more. Then he asked the third question. What is the right thing to do? I wonder about that sometimes. What is the right thing to do? Because I don't always know the right thing to do. Do you guys? No, I don't either. Sometimes I have to really think about it, what the right thing is to do. Flying, said Sonia. Having fun all the time, laughed Gogol. And fighting, barked Pushkin right away. The dog wants to fight. Then the boy thought for a long time. He loved his friends. He knew they were all trying their best to help him answer his questions, but their answers didn't seem quite right. Then an idea came to him. I know, he thought. I will ask Leo the turtle. He has lived a very long time. Surely he will know the answers I'm looking for. Okay. Let me show you pictures. Nikolai hiked up into the mountains where the old turtle lived all alone. When Nikolai arrived, he found Leo digging a garden. The turtle was old and digging was hard for him. I have 3 questions and I have come to ask your help, Nikolai said. When is the best time to do things? Who is the most important one? And what is the right thing to do? You see, he walked up a big mountain, and there's a turtle up there, and he's digging his garden. Yeah. So let's see. So Leo listened carefully, but he only smiled. Then he went on with his digging. You must be tired, Nikolai said at last. Let me help you. The turtle gave him his shovel and thanked him. And because it was easier for a young boy to dig than it was for an old turtle, Nikolai kept on digging until the rows were finished. But just as he finished, the wind blew wildly and rain burst from darkened clouds. As they moved toward the cottage for shelter, Nikolai suddenly heard a cry for help. Running down the path, he found a panda whose leg had been injured by a fallen tree. Carefully, Nikolai carried her into Leo's house and made a splint for her leg with a stick of bamboo. The storm raged on, banging at the doors and windows. The panda woke up. Where am I? She said. And where is my child? The boy ran out of the cottage and down the path. The roar of the storm was deafening. Pushing against the howling wind and drenching rain, he ran further into the forest. There he found the panda's child, cold and shivering on the ground. See the panda right there? Well, I found the panda. Bless you. The little panda was wet and scared, but alive. Nikolai carried her inside and made her warm and dry. Then he laid her in her mother's arms. Leo smiled when he saw what the boy had done. The next morning, the sun was warm. Birds sang and all was well with the world. The panda's leg was healing nicely, and she thanked Nikolai for saving her and her baby from the storm. At that moment, Sonia, Gogol, and Pushkin arrived to make sure everything was all right. Remember the heron, the monkey, and the dog? So they'd come to see how Nikolai is doing. So Nikolai felt great peace within himself. He had wonderful friends, and he had saved the panda and her child. But he also felt disappointed. He still had not found the answers to his 3 questions, so he asked Leo one more time. The old turtle looked at the boy. But your questions have been answered, he said. They have, said the boy. Yesterday, if you had not stayed to help me dig my garden, you wouldn't have heard the panda's cries for help in the storm. Therefore, the most important time was the time you spent digging the garden. The most important one at that moment was me. The most important thing to do was to help me with my garden. Later, when you found the injured panda, the most important time was the time you spent mending her leg and saving her child. The most important ones were the panda and her baby. And the most important thing to do was to take care of them and make them safe. Remember then that there is only one important time, and that time is now. The most important one is always the one you are with. And the most important thing is to do good for the one who is standing at your side. For these, my dear boy, are the answers to what is most important in the world. That's why we're here. Does that make sense? The most important time is right now. The most important thing to do is what you're doing right now. And it's always important to help, right? So that's the little story that I want to share with you. I don't always know what to do. I don't always know what the best thing to do. I don't always know the best in school. And so the most important thing to do right now is to do school. Because there'll come another time in your life when there'll be some other things that are important to do. But you do that what you're doing right now. What you find to do, do. And those people that you find to help, those are the most important people, aren't they? To help people. What? Yes?
My dad doesn't want to college, but he wants me to go to college, so he wants me to get really good grades. But I'm starting to go downhill a little bit.
Well, here's what I would say. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you want to do, that's the direction you want to go, just go. And don't let little obstacles stop you. My grades were not very good in school. I didn't do well in school. And there was a lot of reasons for that. But I didn't do well in school. But I always thought to myself, this is where I want to be. And that's what you have to do. You have to think about what you want to be, where you want to be in the future, and just keep moving in that direction, no matter how many obstacles you run into. Nobody would have thought I'd have gone to college if they'd have saw me when I was your age, when I was in 3rd grade. Nobody would have thought that. Nobody would have thought that when I was in high school. But I always knew where I wanted to be. And it didn't matter what my report card said. I knew where I wanted to be. Now, that's not saying that grades aren't important. But if you know where you want to go, don't let little obstacles stop you. My parents were very, very poor. I was raised in a little dirt floor shack in the middle of a cotton field. And we spent many years there. And I didn't let that stop me. I knew where I wanted to be. And that's what I worked towards. And that's what you can do as well. There's always obstacles. There's always challenges. Always. There's always going to be things that you can't do very well. But if you want to go somewhere and you want to do something, there's nothing to stop you. Except for you. Yes, dear. How old am I? Well, I am 60. So I've been around a long time.
You're older than my uncle.
Yeah, I know. I'm older than dirt. But you know what? I don't feel very old. I still feel the same way that I did when I was your guys' age. I just have a little bit more experience under my belt. Yes, dear. You hear?
That they didn't know what to use. So I had my cookbook and it's so
And you help them. Good. That's important. Listen, guys, it's been very nice to spend a few minutes with you. I can take a couple more quick questions, if you have them. If not, that's okay. Did I play games when I was younger? We absolutely did. We played outside a lot. We built forts and played army, and what else did we do? We did a lot of fort building. We liked building forts, my brothers and I. I'm sorry? No, we didn't have phones. We didn't have computers when I was your age. We didn't have phones. The phones we had was in the house, and you had to pick it up and dial the number. And And if you weren't there, nobody could get a hold of you. It was
a house.
awesome.
Yeah.
It was a house phone.
It was a house phone. Yes, it was. It was a house phone.
You guys would know what to do without a phone.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, dear.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I do. My brothers, I have 3 brothers and a sister. Think about that for a second. Yeah.
4 siblings. I want to.
Okay. Now, let me jump up here to this young man. That's a good question. Remember what we just said about moving forward? Well, you have to keep moving forward. You just take steps, and one step leads to another step. And when I was in 3rd grade, I never thought that I was going to be a superintendent of a school. I had no idea. I didn't know that I was going to be a school teacher. I didn't know that I was going to be a principal. I didn't know that I was going to be a superintendent. But what you do is you just keep moving. And I knew what I did want to do, though. I knew that I wanted to go to school. I knew I wanted to go to college. That's all I knew. And so that's what I did. You just keep moving forward. Just because you don't know where the end is doesn't mean that you shouldn't go that path. So I had no idea that I was going to be a superintendent. Yes? How did I get it? Some folks on the school board decided to hire me. I've been a superintendent for about 16 years. Yeah, 16 years I was a superintendent in Pennsylvania. So, yes, dear.
I think you and Miss Hobson switched places for a day.
Who, me and Miss Hobbs? Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, that would be fun.
You too.
Let me hear from you. Yes, dear. One more time. Pennsylvania. It's a state. It's north of us. And you've got North Carolina, you've got Virginia, and then you've got Pennsylvania. And so I lived in Pennsylvania for about 33 years. But I was raised over in Cumberland County. So I wasn't raised too far from here. Yeah, back to you.
Why did you move
To Virginia? Okay. All right, very good.
Well, Dr.
Hi,
Goodin.
boys, girls.
Or you got something
No,
else?
no.
We want to give you just a little bit of prize for coming down to be with us today. Hopefully it's something that you can enjoy later.
Thank you.